Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. How are you today? Because guess what? We're going to continue on doing some more solving. So that means we're going to practice on working on those inverses until the day I pass away. Because we need to get this stuff done. So if you are coming on in, go ahead and just do what you normally do. Go ahead and tap away. But I know for inequalities, this is something that everyone needs to know. The way that you solve inequalities is similar, hence the word similar, to how you solve an equation. But like everything else, and sometimes my pants size, there's always a twist. So when it comes to inequalities, you have your less than, which looks like a cramped up little L, or you have your greater than, all right? Everyone gets them mixed up. Everyone's like, well, it all depends on where it's pointing. It depends on how it opens because, how 7, 8, 9 and all this other stuff. So the only thing is, you just need to understand, less than kind of looks like a little cramped L, and greater than is pointing to the right. Now, the way you pronounce these two is less than or equal to. That's what the line underneath means. That means something is going to be less than or equal to. So if I'm looking at less than or equal to 5, so if I say x is less than or equal to 5, that means I'm dealing with all the numbers that are lower than 5 and including the 5. So anything lower and including the 5. That's what that symbol means. It doesn't mean less than and something else that people always make up, okay? So, all right, and the same thing goes for the greater than. It's going to be greater than or equal to. So what we're going to do today is do a little bit of solving, do a little bit of graphing, because if we notice, if it is greater than or less than, you have a circle. We're doing this on a regular number line, okay? We have a circle. I think a lot of people say an open circle. Guys, a circle is open. So then, if you have less than or equal to, it's including the number, so it'll be a dot. And I love how people say a closed dot. What other dots do you know, guys? All right? Just took some person that was slightly deranged to throw those words open and closed in there, and then they try to throw dots and circles. Yeah, we don't need to make math so complicated, all right? So, come on in, come on, tap away. Now, what we're going to be doing, or what we're going to also be saying, if you are interested, just in case anything ever goes awry, you can come here, and this is where all my replays are going to be going. So come here, type in this, and then you're going to do this, 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 and this, okay? Let's see if we can get that channel to grow as well as you are learning stuff here. I know it's probably 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but it's noon Central Time. Some of you guys probably are doing some lunch, and you just want to do the learning, but maybe in the own privacy of your own home. Naughty little minx. But that's what we're going to be doing, so that's where you need to go. If anything goes crazy awry here on TikTok, that's where I will be. All right, so go ahead and do all 5 of those. Perfect. So now let's go with our first example. So we are looking at, so if anyone ever wants to know what EX means example. So let's start off nice and chummy, shall we? All right. So we have r plus 1 is less than or equal to 17. So we need to get r by itself. The way that we're going to get r by itself is very similar to what we did yesterday when we were solving equations, and I was at a 10. Now, I'm probably feeling like pretty much a 7. was able to get outside and get a walk in. All right, it's not super, super hot, but trust me, I know there's going to be a troll that's going to come on here, and I'm just going to want to break stuff. Okay, so we need to get R by itself. Think of the inequality as my barrier. Boom. Let me just kind of put it here a little bit. Okay, so that means in order for me to be R by itself, we have to subtract that 1. So we are subtracting the 1. Whatever you do on one side of the inequality, you must do on the other. So 1 plus a negative 1, they cancel out. Okay, the only way they can cancel out is 1 is positive and 1 is negative. So now we're bringing down our R and we're bringing down our inequality sign as is. So you're probably saying, hey, Audrey, there was something about flipping of those inequalities. Like, when does that happen? That only happens when you multiply or divide by a negative number. That's when your inequality sign flips. All right. When I'm subtracting, it doesn't flip it. Only when you're multiplying and dividing. So now 17 minus 1, that gives me my 16. And that's when you know when to stop. When R is by itself, or whatever your variable is by itself on one side and then the other. So now let's graph it. Just a single little number line. You do not have to write the whole number line from 0 to positive 16 and then to negative 6. Stop it. Just go in the middle. Boom. Put your 16 down. Boom. All right. Since it's less than or equal to, remember, it's either a circle or a dot. If it has that equal to, it's going to be a dot. So I'm putting a dot on 16. Now, which way am I going to shade? If it is less than, I'm going to shade to the left, okay? Because this is saying numbers that are less than or equal to or including 16. So I am shading all the way to negative infinity. Okay? All right. Easy peasy. Thank you. Patricia, love you. Mwah. Straight on the lips, right? Easy peasy. Okay? Not going to do any of that. All right. Then don't. Hey, Ann. Ann's birthday was yesterday, and I missed it. Say happy birthday to Ann. She's in the chat. Okay? 10 a.m. in Arizona, and you're here in education. All right. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Nice. So, let's go over here, because I'm going to do something more to this. So, I want to give myself some space. All right. So, let's do this. Here is my next example. We got negative 7x is greater than or equal to 84. Okay, didn't make it on time today. Caden, we just got started. It's all right. It's perfectly fine. Okay, but you're here. All right. So, I don't see any plus, I don't see any minus. So, in between the number and the variable, if I see a plus sign or minus sign, I should be thinking either addition or subtraction. But since I don't see any of this, that means this negative 7 is being multiplied to my x. That's what multiplication looks like. Multiplication does not look like negative 7xx. This is not porn. Stop it. Okay, we only need to see one x. The days of using x as multiplication should be shunned. That's what's screwing a lot of people up when they get into advanced math. So if we're doing multiplication, we need to do the inverse. And the inverse is division. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 7. So negative 7 divided by negative 7, that gives me a 1. But we don't need the 1 because we still have our x. The 1 is being represented in front of the x. Now, we divide it by a negative integer, all right? There we go, Fierce Beats. How are you? I haven't seen you for a minute. Hopefully you're doing all right. So you're saying we got to change that direction of that sign. Yes. Hey, Janice. Hey, Carmen. How you doing? So instead of greater than or equal to, this is when you flip it, okay, to less than or equal to. So now you have to do 84 divided by negative 7. Hey, Isabel. So 84 divided by negative 7, a positive divided by a negative, gives me a negative. Please try to memorize these signs. You have to get your signage. Okay? There will always put an answer that is going to be wrong because of the signage. And then 84 divided by 7, last time I checked, that would be 12. Okay? So make sure it's a negative 12. All right? So now, let's go. Drawing my line. Don't need to draw the whole entire graph. If your teacher does, I'll be like, what is seriously wrong with this person? Okay, so we have my negative. What is seriously wrong with this person? Okay, so we have my negative 12. So again, we're going less than or equal to. Why is it less than? Didn't we start off with greater than? The reason why is because we divide it by a negative number. So anytime we divide by a negative or we multiply by a negative, we must change the direction of the sign so we can get a true statement. That's the reason why we're doing all this, guys, so we can get some true statements. So, open or closed? Put it in the chat. Open or closed? What do we got? We're just trial and error. Of course, Ta. Tay, definitely. Hands down. They were bored. I mean, there was nothing else to do. Probably someone that wanted to invent it or steal it. You know, that's what they do. Was a little bit bored and they wanted to look good in front of chicks. All right. So, literally learning this on your laptop right now. Beautiful thing. So we got clothes. We got clothes. We got clothes. We got Cookie with the clothes. Madsen, clothes. Yanni, clothes. Janice, clothes. Kaden, clothes. All right, no. Yep, no TV. They had nothing to do except for counting cows all day, right? Okay, I can't ask, what pen is that? This is the Sharpie S Gel. And it comes in a variety of colors. You have your green, you have your red, your blue, and there was black. But then I went to the W word. I know, it was on sale. It was one of those rollback things. But they also have it in white. Ooh, the Sharpie S Gel pen. No money for that. That was straight up free. So now, since it's closed, we're going to put that closed dot. It kills me. It's a dot, all right? And since it's less than or equal to, that means we are shading. Any point that is less than and also including negative 12 will make this into a true statement. That's the reason why we're doing it. That's the main difference between an equation. An equation, you just get one solution. Boom. Inequalities, you're looking at the range of it. Okay, you're looking at the range, you're looking at the domain. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks. All right. Next one. Obviously, I'm going to step it up. We're going to see how much you guys keep tapping. If you're getting things, go ahead. But I'm always going to kind of step things up. I'm going to give a little bit of space, like I said, because there is something else that I want to put in there just to kind of put you through it. So let's jump in, right? So we have 5 minus 4 times negative 4a plus 8. Yeah, she's still writing. Less than or equal to 85. Okay, that's where she's going to stop. And I know right away somebody back there, because I can hear it's very silent, that said, nope. And I'm saying, yep. Come on now. We're done with the whole fight and flight thing. Okay? That was years ago. That's when we were in the classroom. We probably had a teacher that was just all knowing and just didn't know how to break down to students. One, I'm sorry, because I had those teachers and I know how it feels like. But then I finally got an awesome teacher my senior year in high school. Really? Had to wait that long to finally get an awesome teacher that understood, that broke concepts down, and he even gave me a nickname of Shorty. I know you can't see me. I'm 6'1". This man was like maybe 5'2" on a good day. Maybe. Mr. Crusoe was awesome, right? So when it comes down to these concepts, like I said, you're going to want to break it down step by step. Don't try to solve the whole entire thing in one queen soup. All right, so we can do this one of several ways, just like what we did for the equations. So if I take a look and I focus my attention over on this left-hand side, my goal is to get A by itself on this left-hand side of this inequality. So we can address one of different things. We could do the distributive property, okay? Or we could get rid of this 5, okay? Because right now we don't have like terms, but we could. If you want to, you could subtract this 5 on both sides and then do your division, or you can do your distribution and then combine like terms and then go and do your subtraction. Like always, I'm going to show it to you both ways. Okay, I'm going to show you both ways. I'm going to try to write the other one in a different color so we can see. So this one's going to be over here. I don't think you can see it. All right, good. But I'm going to show you 2 ways, and then you pick which way best suits you. All right? So for this one, let's go the traditional route. The traditional route tells me that I need to take this -4 and I need to distribute to everything inside the parenthesis. Okay? Stop distributing over to 85. No. Okay? You only distributing to what's inside the parenthesis. So what happens here? You get your 5. Now you got your -4 times your -4a. That gives you a positive 16a. It's not a squared because there's no 2 a's up there. There's only one a. Now we got -4 times a positive 8. Negative times a positive always gives me a negative. 4 times 8 will give me my 32. And then what comes down is my less than or equal to 85. Okay, so that's one. The next thing that you could do is combine your like terms. That'll be your 5 and your -32. So this is the latest thing that I saw. People were saying, oh, okay, let me add 32 to the 32 and the 5. No. Okay, just no. No. Never. The reason why you do the inverse is when you take from one side of the equal sign or the inequality in this case to the other side. That's when you do the inverse, is when you're carrying from one side to the other. All right. But if they're on the same side, you just go ahead and just combine it. So if you think about it, you really have -32. So someone owes you $32. They paid you 5. That means you are short $27. Okay? When the signs are opposite, you're really subtracting and you're keeping the sign of the largest number. I'm telling you, for me, it's easier when I think of money, especially when someone owes me money, right? Oh, you owe me $32 and you just going to give me $5? All right, I'll take that. But guess what? You still owe me $27. Empty out them pockets. So we got our 16a. We're bringing down our inequality sign as is. We're not flipping because we didn't do anything to cause that flip. There you go, Rose. Thank you. So now, hey, Bundles. So we're going to do what? What is next for us to do? Remember, our quest. You know how you have the crest of the Holy Grail? Our quest is to get A by itself. All right? We're not going to divide the 16 yet. Slow that roll. Okay? You done with this? You think you are. All right, you just graduated from what? High school? You're not done. You still got one more year of math to do. All right? So, here we go. There it is. We're going to add that 27. Yep, we're going to add that 27 on both sides. Since we have a minus 27, we do the inverse. The reason why I'm going from one side to the other. Okay, that's how we're doing it. That's why we're doing the inverse. So a lot of you guys always ask, well, why do I do this? I'm telling you. All right, so since we added 27, that inequality sign stays exactly the same. And then we have a 112. Okay, so 16a is less than or equal to 112. All right, awesome. That's exactly what this is, Aiden. Good job. Way to identify that. So now we're going to divide. Yes, we're going to divide this 16 on both sides. So we're dividing the 16 on both sides. So that means 16 divided by 16, and that will give me my 1, but we don't need the 1 because we still have the A. So now we got to figure out, here's my A. Now, does it flip? Yes or no? Do we flip the inequality sign? Put that into the chat. Okay. Caden saying stay the same. Carmen saying yes. Bundles is saying no. Cookie no. Ohio no. Okay. So give me an answer. V. Lopez is saying yes. Janice is saying no. It's like a battle of wills. We got yes. We got no. Okay. All right. Yanni is saying no. Okay. Is that Sanita? Sanita saying no. Carmen, guess not. It's like, it only flips if it's negative, I believe. Yep. Okay, you're not dividing by a negative. There you go, Caden. There you go. Max saying yes, it's not negative. All right. I'm about to start a fight. I felt like when I was in the classroom, they're like, Miss Codner, how did that fight break out in your room? I just asked them, do I flip the inequality sign? And then all hell broke loose. And I sat and watched and ate my lunch. It was only first period. But anyway, so we're not going to flip it because the 16 that we divided was positive. If it was a negative 16, yes, change the direction of your inequality sign. But now we have our 112 divided by 16. That gives me a total of 7. And it's a positive 7. All right. So from here, if we go into the graph, boom, draw a line, throw your 7 in there. You don't have to do the whole number line, people. Come on. Open or closed? Okay, open or closed? Because we got open and closed engraved in our brain versus circle and dot. Believe it or not. I know. We're so brainwashed. It's so fun. Isn't it great to be brainwashed? It's lovely. All right. So I'm seeing closed, 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 open. So since it's not negative, okay, so we got closed, closed, close. Okay, to learn all about. Is it possible to learn all of college algebra in 1 month? No. No, you're not learning all of it. Especially at the pace that you're learning it. You're probably memorizing and regurgitating, but learning, no. Okay. All right. All right, so it is closed. Why is there an 8 there? You all right? You're having a stroke? It's a 7. Let's go. So since it's less than or equal to, that means we're including 7 in our quest. I notice all of my stuff keeps going less than, which is cute. All right, so that means we're involving any number, including 7 and less, all the way to negative infinity, will make this original equation into a true statement. All right? Yep, Gala, I'm about to do that. Do I teach statistics? I do not. That is not my jam. So sorry. But there is a guy that I know that does. So if you're interested, I'm not sure if he's in here today. But if he is, I'll let you know. Okay, all right. Not a problem. Yeah, I may do some of it, but that's not really my jam. Like if you're like, I don't understand standard deviations, I got you. But if you're going into full force, yeah, that's not me. All right. So now, as I said earlier, okay, what's his TikTok? Robert, wait, hold on. Right here. See, look at me, always prepared. Robert, the AP math guy. Okay, Robert, the AP math guy. So he does AP statistics. He also does statistics for nursing, Calc AB and BC. All right. Okay, you would like to understand standard deviations is basically how far away you are from the mean. There you go, Jessica. Bam. You're like, what? That's it? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Okay. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Follow him. Shoot, do it. Follow him. He also does tutoring. See, I love how I promote a lot of people because I usually have like a whole list. I have like this whole lovely list. But do they do it for me? No. But I'll suck it up, Buttercup, because that's how I am. I'm Gen X. Gen X. Not a problem. All right, so I told you that we can solve this one of two ways. Let me show you the second way. Okay, so we got the first way. You choose which way you like. All right. So one of the things that I could do is let me get rid of this 5. So if I subtract 5 on both sides of the inequality, and then what's left is going to be my -4 times -4a plus 8 is less than or equal to 85. What's my pen? It's less than to 80, sorry, because we're subtracting the 5. Now, right here, we have -4 is being multiplied to this expression of -4a plus 8. So if they're being multiplied, why don't I just divide both sides by -4? So -4 divided by -4, that will give me 1. And that basically releases that middle term. So my -4a plus 8 is less than or equal to. Is it less than or equal to? No, it's not, because I divided by a -4. So this really should be greater than or equal to. So now I have 80 divided by a -4. So that gives me a -20. So now I want to solve for a. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. So -8 and +8, they cancel out, bringing down my -4a is greater than or equal to -20 minus 8. Since they're both negative, that means we got a -28. Then from here, I'm going to subtract. Then from here, I'm going to divide by negative 4. So that means I'm going to have an A, and it's not greater than anymore because since I'm dividing by a negative 4, it's going to flip again, which will give me less than or equal to, and then negative 28 divided by a negative 4, negative divided by negative will give me a positive, and 28 divided by 4 gives me 7. Same graph. Okay. Yes, there we go. Because you divide by a negative. There you go, Maddie. All right, nice. Now, would you graph it? Sure, why not? So, again, we're just using our 7. Since it's less than or equal to, so that means it's going to be a dot, and we're shading to the left, all the way to negative infinity. It's going to be exactly the same as what we did earlier. Okay? The difference, the reason why that is a possibility, and I do prefer this way, this is me, okay? Again, this is me. The reason why I like this way is my numbers are lower. And since you are basically trying to get your GED, your ASVAB, your Accuplacer, even your TEAS test. TEAS test, you're able to use a scientific calculator. But GED, ASVAB, Accuplacer, no. You can't use a calculator. So why not try to keep our numbers relatively low versus, okay, now I got to figure out what's 112 divided by 16. That's going to take me longer in time versus trying to figure out what 28 divided by 4 is. Okay. Right? Awesome. Good. Watch this out. Like the first way better? Do it. That's not, like I said, I prefer this way, but if you're good with that way, do it. Anything that help you move your grade from the positive direction or going into the positive direction, heck yeah, do it. All right. Okay, so there's roughly 198 of you. Start tapping. They're like, oh, I'm about to leave now. No, sit your butt there and start tapping. Okay, so another thing that I am doing is if anyone is thinking about getting themselves ready for a GED, ASVAB, TEAS test, or maybe even college algebra, right? A lot of the algebra is basically throughout all 4 of those exams. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a mock practice test. So a lot of you are thinking, taking a test, I'm really stressed out, like I'll be fine during instruction, but then when the test comes, I'm freaking out, and all of a sudden I forget everything, and blah, blah, blah. So this is what I can do for you. I'm going to set aside time. I'm doing it 6 times. One of them is starting tomorrow. I know, right? But when I get these ideas, that's when I get to go. And then all of a sudden I try to set everything up. And then next thing you know, my calendar wants to go kaplooey. Then all of a sudden my website just does not want to upload. And so this is why I do the things that I stress. I do this for you. I do it for you. All right. But it's basically 35 questions. It's 59 minutes long for just the test part. Then after the test part, I go through the answers step by step. How did we do it? What's going on? What was the correct answer? I'm actually going to record that part. Okay. So the recording of those replays and also the notes of those replays, that's where this is. And if you want an actual copy of the test itself, you can do that as well if you want to practice on your own. And then you can look at the answers and all that stuff and teach yourself. Go right ahead. So I'm changing this because there was a couple things, when you have an epitome, when you're like walking on the track and you're like, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it $10 for both subscribers and non-subscribers to my TikTok. Okay? You're people. You're human beings. All right, so as the entry level is $10. Now, if it was free, trust me, you would not value it. So that's why I'm not doing it for free. So for $10, you come in live. It's going to be a Zoom call. I will have you guys sit down, and you're literally chalking off space for you to work with this test. So that means you're telling your kids, go sit down, do something, don't touch nothing for like, I know, about 2 hours. I know it's crazy, but this is what we got to do. Tell your significant other, either take the kids somewhere, but it'll give you some time to work on it. Each and every one of these dates will be a different test. So it's not going to be the same test each and every time. Why do that? That's silly. All right. But I am going to change that for like $10 for both. But if you do want, here's what I'm going to do. For my subscribers, I'm going to lessen the price of this instead of $25. So it does still pay to be a subscriber of mine on TikTok. And guess what? My subscription is free because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not even going to sit here and try to lie. Okay? Yeah, well, you're talking about stuff. Okay, do you help with challenging college math courses? So what is your definition of a challenging college math course, Jessica? Like, which one are you talking about? Like, are you talking about discrete mathematics, discrete algebra? What are you talking about? Because that is definitely a no. Okay, so placement tests, yeah, that's the AccuPlacer. That's what placement tests do. Okay, calculus, not my thing. Pre-calc, I would do, except for AP pre-calc. That's not my thing. They're like to make up stuff as they go along. All right. Okay, yep. Placement test is the same as AccuPlacer. We know it here in Maryland as the AccuPlacer. And I know a couple people have been asking about Praxis. For people that want to be teachers, if I can help with that, yes, I can, and I do that. So I got spots. If you want those, you guys got to message me. All right? Click on my profile, message me. Or down below, there should be what's called a service button. Just click on that. Even though it might be talking about the mock practice, you can message me through there as well. All right? Okay, so you guys got options. If you don't reach out to me, I can't reach out to you. Because I don't know what you need. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you desire. So you're going to have to talk to me. Okay? You're going to have to talk to me. All right, so that's coming up. That's something that you want to think about. But do not wait till the last minute. The other thing that I do is like with all my lovely services is I also have like private tutoring. I have courses. If anyone just wants to like take a course like self-paced that's going to walk them through step by step, I also have that, and you can go here for that information. And then if you like my books, like this math notebook, it's not a template, it's a book, and I actually designed it. All right, so we're keeping all our notes in here. Okay, gives you a space for you to put your formulas, gives you a space for you to do your steps, as well as, this is my last part, and I'm going to go back to the teaching, as well as it gives you resources in the back of the book. So it gives you a factor sheet from 1 to 200. It gives you the rules of integers. If you can't keep it in your mind, it's in the back of your book so you can remind yourself. Order of operations, properties of exponents. Then we got our volume and surface area, as well as area and perimeter of different shapes. Then we also have the unit circle for your pre-calc people, as well as the Pythagorean theorem and SOHCAHTOA. All right, all that packed in. One book should definitely last you for a quarter. So you're probably going to need like 4. Maybe if you write small enough, it'll probably last you for like 2.5 quarters. 2.5. Basically more than half the year. I write big because of the instruction. All right. Okay. So you missed the first part? Well, then wait for the replay. Remember, just have to give me a chance for me to upload it. You can go here. Make sure you do this, and this. so you can get to the replay. All right. Hey, Nike, how are you? All right. I thought I could handle it without the fan, but yeah, definitely not. So will all the practice test days provide a different test? It's the different test every day. Yeah. Okay, can we do this in our session? Can we do what in our session? Okay, I'm doing all right. I'm doing so far so good. All right. Now, before we have a session? Did you sign up with a session for me? Friday? Oh, okay, thank you. I'm like, wait, who? I was like, I don't have a Bella on my thing. Yes. Oh, and did you get my messages? What's going on? But I don't want to put that out here right now. Definitely check my messages, okay? All right. So before I get to the next part, because the next part is called compound inequalities, all right? So I saw a couple people do this. When we're dealing with inequalities, there is something also known as interval notation. So interval notation really comes from when you're doing a little bit with your inequalities. It's almost like shorthand, okay? It's like shorthand to represent your inequalities. Sometimes it looks like inequalities or it looks like order pairs, but they're not, okay? So if I were to do interval notation, parentheses usually happens when I have a less than or a greater than situation. Brackets usually happen when it's an equal to, so less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So instead of dealing with the graph using dots and circles, they're using parentheses and brackets. Now, the one thing that you need to know about interval notation is that your infinity, be it negative infinity or positive infinity, always gets parentheses. Okay? Parentheses mean unbounded. Because we know infinity doesn't have an end. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. Okay? So when it comes to brackets, that means you're including that space. That means there's a definite end. And infinities do not have that. Okay, so no matter if you're using positive infinity or negative infinity, it's always going to be parentheses, means unbounded. Brackets means bounded. Think about it. You're stuck in jail. You're in a room. That's it. Can't get out. Okay, you can lean as close as you can to that wall, but you will not be able to go through. This is not a Marvel comic. Okay, reality. Hey. All right. So when we're doing this for interval notation, always put your lowest number first. Okay, and I've done this before. So if you actually go here and you look up interval notation for my thing, I actually did a live on it not too long ago. It's actually this month. Okay, so you'll be able to take a look at it. So I'm just going to kind of do like a quick little jibby-jabby. All right, so if I want to do the interval notation for this, my lowest number is negative infinity. Okay, that's my absolute lowest number. And the highest number to satisfy this inequality is going to be 16. So like I said, The infinities always have a parenthesis because it's unbounded. But there's a definite stop at 16. Like, it's not saying 16.1, 16.5, 17 point nothing. No, it's like at 16, boom, done. That makes it bounded. So this is the interval notation of this graph of this inequality. Okay? Hey. Hey, Milky Way. Okay. So how do I apply this to real life? All right, we can do it this way. We all have boundaries, right? So when someone's just pushing that boundary and they took it a step further, you know how someone's always plucking your nerve? Yeah, just kind of get right to it, and they do one more thing just to push you out. They wanted to see how far they're going to push you until they punch you, right? But see, I'm 16. If you try to play with me, I'm just going to punch you. That's the end of bound. So it's like no plucking, no pushing of the nerve. It's like, yeah, let me see how far I can push somebody to kind of make them a little mad and see if I get a little reaction to them. Ha ha, he he. Or you get me, the Philly girl, that if you just do something a little out of sorts, because I think being Philadelphian it's an order or a disorder in itself, you know? We're kind of mental. So one minute we love you, next minute, like seriously, the next second, we can be like, you're dead to me. So it's like that. So that's how you do it in real life. Hi, here you go. There you go. Has that wish factor. I wish a person would. Push it over. All right, same thing that's happening here for the next one. So interval notation, my lowest, it's easier to see it as a graph because we're visual people. My lowest number is negative infinity. Okay, so we got a negative infinity. The highest number was a negative 12. Now remember, since we see that dot, that means it's including and it's stopping at negative 12. So that's a bracket. And infinity, it just keeps going on and on and on. That's a parenthesis. All right, so that's it. So when I come down here, same thing is happening. I'm just only going to do one because both of these are exactly the same. So same thing is happening over for this one. My lowest number was negative infinity. The highest number was 7. And since we included 7, that's going to be a bracket, and the infinity is going to be a parenthesis. All right? Okay. So, just little snippets. Give you little bits of this, little bits of that. So, compound inequality. That's when you have two inequalities at the same time, and you're still trying to find where, basically like domains, where or what numbers are going to make it into a true statement. So, if you want to watch the first one, you can watch the first one. So you have two different inequalities. You have an and inequality and a or inequality. Let me show you the and first. So if I have something like this, 6 is less than or equal to, I'm obsessed with less than or equal to, I'm sorry. X plus 6 is less than or equal to 11. And you're probably saying, say what? So if we think of it this way, there are two inequalities happening at once. One inequality is 6 is less than or equal to x plus 6. And the other inequality is x plus 6 is less than or equal to 11. So we need something that's going to satisfy both inequalities at the same time. So how you solve this? You're probably like, I have no idea. Do I need to split it up? No. Always work from the inside out. Okay? This is what I mean. So if you need to just pause and just take a look, and while you're looking, you're tapping, that's what we can do. So inside the inequality, we have this x plus 6. The goal is to get the x by itself. So what I have to do is I need to get rid of the 6. And what I normally do is the inverse, which is minus 6. But I'm not just going to minus 6 in the middle. I'm also going to minus 6 on both of the ends. Okay? So whatever is happening in the middle also happens on the ends. So in between, positive 6, minus 6. That gives me my 0. So now I'm able to achieve x being by itself inside the middle. So now let me look at my ends. We have 6 minus 6. That gives me a 0. We have 11 minus 6. That gives me a 5. Now, do I change the direction of the signs? There she is, AC laughter. Okay, do we change the direction of the signs? Gail is saying no. Bundles, no. Good. Cooking, no. At least no. Okay. Ohio, I'm going to say no. Awesome. All right. No. The mystery man or mystery person. Okay. Houston saying no because you're not dividing. Yes, because you're not dividing by a negative number. There we go. No. No can do. Good. Queen is saying yes. Only if you divide a negative number. Yes. Only when you're dividing or multiplying by a negative number. That's when the inequality signs change. All right. Good. So that means I can bring this down. Less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. So if I were to graph this, instead of just putting one number on your number line, you're going to put the 2 and put the 2 that are your ends. So right here could be 0 and right here can be 5. All right. So for the 0, so let me cover up for a second. Let me get myself nice and decent. So when I have this one, this is saying 0 is less than or equal to x. So that's telling me that I'm including the 0, but I'm really dealing with numbers that are greater than 0. Because if 0 is less than the unknown numbers, that means we're dealing with the unknown numbers that are bigger than and including 0. So you would have, first off, it's going to be a dot on the 0 because it has that equal to. And then you would shade the numbers all the way to positive infinity. So now, if I cover this up, this is saying x is less than or equal to 5. So that means it's including my 5. So there's a dot. But this time I'm shading to the left because the 5 is going to be greater than the numbers, or the numbers is less than or equal to 5. So your shading will be around here. But take a look. There's an overlap right here. Not sure if you can see it. Let me zoom in. See? Notice the green and the red is overlapping right here in the center. This is where all your numbers are, between and including the 0 and the 5. So you can pick any number in between 0 and 5 to make this into a true statement. That includes decimals. That includes fractions. Okay? As long as it lies within the 0 and 5 range or domain, then that will make it into a true statement. Okay? So and is saying where they overlap. Okay? And they're overlapping right there in the center. But now, here I go. I want to add some stuff to it. Interval notation. Let me unzoom a little bit. It's almost like getting really, really close to a pretty girl. Too close. Give me some space. So the two numbers that we're looking for are 0 and 5. Okay? 0 and 5. Both of them are equal to, they're included. So would I put parentheses or brackets? That's my question to you. Would I put parentheses or brackets? Okay. Houston's saying, would you put both in brackets on each side? Danny saying brackets. Pog saying brackets. Blue Blood King saying brackets. DK parentheses. Nike brackets. Tiquan brackets. Excuse me. Okay, bundles the same brackets. Ohio brackets because they have an ending. Okay, because they're included in those. All right, brackets for Queen. Good. All right, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Since they were both equal to, they're both going to be enclosed in brackets. Okay. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's also things between 0 and 1, between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3, between 3 and 4, 4 and 5. Yep. So instead of you picking all those decimals, all those fractions, yeah, we're not, no, Gail. No. I know you guys probably think I'm bored to tears. Like, oh, she's over here talking math. Like, she's got no life. I know she just lives for this. People, I got some other stuff I got to do. You see all this stuff that I'm doing for y'all? So, no, Gail. No. All right. Brackets mean inclusive. Yep. Yes, it does. Brackets mean inclusive. All right. So, if we have an or statement, now or statements, they're fun because or statements could overlap going in one direction or they can go in separate directions. So it all depends on what's the situation. What's the frequency, Kenneth? All right, so let's keep it simple. So let's say, let's keep it simple. So let's say we have n plus 1 is less than or equal to -3. Or, so if you're asking, like, how do you know it's an or statement? It'll actually say the word or. Yep. Sometimes the and statements, you'll just see two inequality symbols, but the or, they always say or. Okay, they always say the word or. So basically, you have two inequalities here. Solve them separately, right? Solve them separately. So right now, just ignore this side. Let's focus on this side. We need n to be by itself. What should we do first? Is algebra 2? Yeah, algebra 2, a little algebra 1. Okay. These are the domains, yes, because they're only dealing with your x's. Not my x's, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. -1 on both sides. There we go. Thank you, Houston. So we're going to subtract 1 on both sides. So -1 minus 1. We're done. We're going to bring down our n. And since we subtracted 1, that inequality sign does not change. Boom, boom. But n is less than or equal to what? Mello, just message me. Message me and then I'll send you a link. I'll send you an email. Okay, good. We got -4 bundles, -4 Ohio, -4 Ronnie, for Janice, for Tiquan, -4 Shane, -4 Houston, -4 Danny, 4 Chastity, -4 Cookie, back to 4 with Tiquan, 4 Bella, positive 4 Tiquan. Okay, 4 positive 4 is the same thing. So -4. Now -4 Alexis, okay? It is negative. I'm not going to loan money to some of y'all because seriously, I will be broke forever. So we have -3 minus 1. Okay? You owe me $3. For some sick and twisted reason, I loaned you another $1. That means you owe me $4. Don't make me hurt you. Okay? When the signs are both negative, you combine, keep the negative, and you just basically combine. Combine meaning add the numbers. Okay? Because you're going further down the number line. If you're at -3 and you want to go down 1, you're going further down the number line. So that means that's going to take you to -4. So now we got to do the other side. What's going on here? Okay, so next step we're going to have to divide. Thank you. We got to divide by a -4. Okay, so we're dividing by a -4. So -4 divided by a -4, that gives me a 1. So it gives me a 1n. Yes, Ronnie. There we go. We're going to flip that sign from less than to greater than. And now we have -8 divided by -4. What would that give me? Yep, change the inequality. We got 2. We got 2. I got a -2. I got a +2. We're laughing. -10. User, how you getting -10, boo-boo? Okay, -2, +2, -2. All right, we're about to fight. We're dividing. A negative divided by a negative is what? A negative divided by a negative is what? You can just put the symbol down instead of writing out the word if you want. It's positive. See, you guys got it all memorized in your brains. Okay, we did a very good job of brainwashing you. But now we just have to apply it. A negative divided by a negative will give you positive. 8 divided by 4 will give me 2. So it's going to be a positive 2. All right, there we go. So, still going to be on the same number line. Okay, we have our -4 here. We have our +2 over here. Now, on the -4, open or closed? On the -4, open or closed? Okay, so I got KM saying closed, Ronnie closed, bundles closed, Jen's closed, Pog dot, Houston open. Is that leak or Leah? Sorry, trying to read the cursive. Closed. Okay, includes -4. Okay, saying open, saying close. Shantae saying open. All right. If there is a line underneath, okay, that means you're including. I forgot who said that. I want to say Houston. Houston said that. We're including -4. So anytime there's a line underneath it, it is going to be closed. All right. And since n is less than or equal to -4, that means I am shading to the left all the way to -infinity. Okay. For the n is greater than 2, okay, how do you know when it's open and closed? If it has a line underneath it, it's going to be closed. When it doesn't have a line underneath it, yes, Janice, it's going to be open. Okay, because when it doesn't have the line underneath, it's not equal to, it's not including that number. You can get as close as you can to that number, but you will never be included. So it's almost like you could be friends with the popular kids. Okay, you can go to them, say hi, they'll say hi back. But when it comes for you to be a part of their inner circle, you can sit next to us in class. You might even sit next to our lunch table. I love how I said our, like I was ever the popular kid, but here we are. And you can get as close as you can. But then when it's time to like go to the parties, do whatever the fun things that they do, you're not included. Okay, so you can get as close as you can to the cool kids, but you're not really a cool kid. All right, not a problem. So this one is saying n is greater than 2. So that means I'm using numbers that are close to 2 all the way up to positive infinity. Okay, so you notice that they're not overlapping. They're going into separate worlds. Okay, so that is your or statements. Okay, or statements can play, like I said earlier, 2 different ways. They can either go in 2 separate ways, or they can say one will completely overlap the other. Okay, just in one direction, not like meeting in the middle like this one was. Okay. So you're probably asking, well, Audrey, how do we do? You're probably not, but I'm just throwing it in there. How do you find the interval notation of this? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. We're going to have to separate. We cannot write it like this because we're looking, when you see it like this, that means you're looking at numbers from 0 to 5. So you're looking at everything inside the middle. What you're going to do is called union. So we're going to split this up into sections. Ready? So the first section, you're going to have from the lowest to its highest, which is the -4. So you have -infinity to -4. And we know that -infinity always have a parenthesis. And the 4 is included, so that will be a bracket. But we do not have anything in common in this space. So this is when we use our union symbol. And I think I did something on union symbols. I gotta think. I remember doing it. I'm wondering if it was a tutoring session or something else. I'm not sure. But we're saying that this is on the same number line, but we can't say between -4 and 2 because we don't have anything being represented there. But where we're going to go is the 2, and that 2 goes all the way to positive infinity. So the infinity symbol, always a parenthesis. But since we're not including the 2, it's not going to be a bracket. It'll be a parenthesis. So we just took a basic Algebra 1 concept and we made it into an Algebra 2 spectacular. Yep. Yeah. So I'm hoping that you're seeing that because of all the stuff that you're learning with the foundations of algebra, it carries over throughout math. And I know everyday living, it depends on how you're living. Because there's some people's perspective is using a lot of math components, and there's some people's perspective is not using that much math components. So just because you're not seeing a whole lot of math doesn't mean that everyone else isn't. So this is why we have these things. So when you get into a situation that they throw something like this at you, you can throw it right back at them. Remember, I'm trying to help build you, to empower you to be fighters, no longer flight risks. Okay? All right. Hey, General, how are you? Okay. Yes. So it's like more of like an intersection. Yes. Oh, I did say union, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Yes, you are right. Thank you, Pog. Yes. Okay. And Google. I can't send a message. Okay. I'll just check my emails then, Mela. Okay. I will do that. I'm doing good. Not on 10 right now. But just about to finish up, actually. All right. Not a problem. Not a problem. So these are some of the things that you're going to see in your college algebra courses if you're taking that. These are some, I know you'll probably see a snippet of this, especially for the ASVAB. If you see something with interval notation in ASVAB, you're doing really good. You're in your 50s. Okay, you're in those 50 scores, which that's where you really want to be. You want to get out of the 31s. 31, especially for the Army, is basic. You know, no one wants to be a basic B. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to have some opportunities. You want to be able to get some growth going. So with that being said, GED, if you see anything with complex inequality or compound inequality, why did I say complex? That's going to be a 4-point question. Okay, anything dealing with equations of the line, that's going to be a 4-point question. Anything dealing with slope, that's going to be a 4-point question. Anything dealing with the radicals that we were doing last night, which we're also going to do tonight, that'll be like a 3-point question. Remember, everything on the GED is not measured at the same value. There's 1-point questions like 2 minus 4. Okay, that's a 1-point question. You know, 1/2 plus 5/2. That's a 1-point question. Okay, something with same bases, but different denominators. That's a 2-point question. Really learning how to do your the distance, rate, and time. That's a 3-point question. So it's like everything has a different range. So don't skip anything. And especially if you skip any of the algebra questions, you're automatically going to fail. Automatically. You're not going to pass when you skip an algebra question like solve the equation, find the slope of the line. Okay, what is the equation line of this graph? If you skip any of those, you're not passing. But if you do a few of those and you do fairly decent with the other 1- and 2-point questions, you can pass. I don't know. All right. Okay. So that is it for me. All right. I tried to do for an hour and a half from now on. But again, I'm going to say a few things. Let me just kind of get this out of the way. All right. So again, here we go. If you want my replays, it's right here. Okay, go here. And then I would love for you guys to do this, definitely this, and turn on this. I'm not going to kill you with the whole notifications and stuff like that. Just usually you'll see like, oh, okay, there's a new video. Or, oh, okay, Audrey finally uploaded the video. Because sometimes TikTok takes a while to upload and download and all that fun stuff. All right. And then the other thing, if you are interested in my mock practice test, okay, again, it's 35 questions. We're going to basically block off like 2 hours. Okay. It all depends on how many questions you guys have. But the test itself, literally, you're going to put yourself in a room somewhere, and it's just going to be like us being accountable for each other to get those practice problems in, to get those questions answered, right? To see how well you really are understanding these concepts. And like I said, I'm going to make the entry fee $10 for everyone. But then my subscribers, my TikTok subscribers, you will definitely get a discount on the replay and the test copies and notes. All right. So again, this Wednesday, then we have next Wednesday, also Saturdays and Sundays. I'm trying to get everything done roughly by before that last week, because I know there's a lot of people that are taking college algebra and their finals are either the 30th or the 31st. So a lot of the concepts that you guys are going to be faced with is very similar. So if that's what you want to do, awesome. And then last but not least, so definitely have some private tutoring. Make sure you reach out to me. If you're thinking about like, let me just do a course and let me see how things go. The course only is going to be that 147. But if you want one with 2, now I'm still holding true to the 4 30-minute tutorings until the end of this month. Okay, so I only changed it because I know the end of the month will be here before we know it. And so you definitely want to go here to find that. If you like my books, here's another place where you can go to order them, but you could also order them through here. All right. Awesome. All right. So, hey, 41.8, not too shabby. There's 62 still of us in here. If we can get it to 45, that would be amazing. But if anyone has any questions, go ahead and ask them. Let's see if we can do a mad tap. If everyone at 59, okay, if we can do a mad tap, that will be awesome. And then let's try to shoot for like 45. I'll be perfectly fine with that. You know, if I take the L, I take the L. But at least you guys are getting the information that you need at the aggression that I'm willing to spare. All right. Any other questions? Oh, I almost forgot. I have some people. And then here's a list of people if you want to follow to kind of help you out. So while you guys are tapping, okay, so if you're thinking about doing nursing and you need help with your dosage calculations, you can follow a Blessed RN. I think Impact Math, I think Miss Taylor is on right now to do the T's, the ASVAB, and the GED. So if you need more of like word problems and so forth with that, she's amazing with that. Her free sessions are during the day, but then she has her paid subscription at night. If you're looking for a chemistry tutor, right now she's doing summer classes, but she's still putting out some content, and it's so adorable with the younger kids and seeing them with chemicals, you know, our future chemists. All right, go to Professor TK. If you want to learn how to use the abacus and learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide using the abacus, go ahead and reach out to my friend Learning with Lynette. She is always on, and I know if you're on the East Coast, she also does what's called midnight math. I know because I'll be watching it. I'm like, why am I still up? But here we are, like in between trying to do research and try to tap to support her as best I can. And also for pre-K or kindergarten homeschooling, if you're thinking about homeschooling your kiddos and you need someone to help you with the whole process or even resources, follow my friend Nancy. She's the online elementary tutor. And then I already mentioned Robert, who is the AP math guy. So he does AP statistics for nursing, Calc AB, Calc BC, and he goes live. I think he goes live at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But sometimes he does night times too. So I don't know. Well, you know, if anything, go follow him so you can figure out when he's available. So if you know of anyone that's going to go into calculus that needs assistance, go ahead and make sure you follow him as well. Hey, Austin. And if anything, my other friend who does elementary and middle school students and needs help with their reading and also their math. So she does for reading K through 8 and math K through 5th. She is Bridget Hauser. One of these days I'm going to write the whole thing down. We're going to just pretend that was there the whole time. Bridget Hauser, her line is Read, Math, and Grow. So that's the name of her tutoring company and her TikTok. So go ahead. Of course. And there is actually another one that I'm going to add to my list that is going to be really good for ASVAB. I know it's like you can pick me, you can pick someone else. I mean, I want you to get the support that you need. Okay, I don't care who you get it from. If you get it from me, if you get it from someone else, I want you to be able to get the support that you need. Once I find his MO, because I did reach out to him and he didn't reach out back, so I was like being a spoiled brat and say, well then I'm not going to promote you on my list. But I figured that there's going to be a lot of people that need more than just the math, to pass the ASVAB. You might need more of the intellectual stuff and more, military related. That's not me. Okay. So as soon as I find his info, I'll add it to my list so you guys can have that. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much now it's like 46.2. I'm perfectly fine with that. I greatly appreciate that. So, all right, angel number 222. It's 2 p.m. and 22 minutes. So if you want to see if you can head on to Impact Math 19, if you want to do some more math, go right ahead. But I will be on tonight at 9:30. I know, because I'm crazy, because this is how much I love you all. We're going to continue on our quest on radicals, but this time we're going to multiply and divide with these radicals. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking forward to that. Oh, well, thanks, Austin. Yes, much love, mad love. Woo-hoo. I don't know how to do with the single finger because it always gives me a cramp. I don't know, I'm getting old. All right. All right, guys, take care and stay safe, and I'll see you guys. All right, guys, take care and stay safe, and I'll see you guys.